Richmond County Commissioners take their oaths, and MRH Richmond earns a national award for quality. Plus, we have an exclusive interview with Kenny Melvin about the new home of the Richmond Observer and the future plans that we have for the new building. Richmond County's Nightly News starts right now. Richmond County's 4 recently elected and re-elected commissioners were sworn in Monday afternoon ahead of the board's Tuesday night meeting. Tavares Bostic, who had the second highest number of votes in last month's election, was the first to take the oath, which was administered by State Representative Garland Pierce of Scotland County. Prior to the districts being redrawn, Pierce represented part of Richmond County. Bostic was joined by his parents. His father, John Gould, pastor of Marston First Missionary Baptist Church, held the Bible, while his mother, Andrea Gould, stood nearby. Don Bryant was sworn in by Clerk of Superior Court Vicki Daniel, who said it was an honor to administer the oath to a former teacher. Bryant's wife, Sandra, joined him in front of the flags. Rick Watkins, another newcomer to the Richmond County Board of Commissioners, and Ben Moss were both sworn in by Dina Cook, the board's clerk. Watkins' wife, Cindy Halterwanger Watkins, held the Bible, and his parents, Jerry and Barbara Watkins, joined him for photos afterwards. At Tuesday's meeting, the board will elect a chairman and vice chairman, appoint a new county attorney, and vote whether or not to approve or accept a construction and lease agreement for the Richmond Community College downtown campus. A request from the North Carolina Department of Transportation for a resolution for an addition of Emma's Court, an extension for the tax listing period, a tobacco trust fund commission grant, appointments to the Health and Human Services Board, and a budget amendment for the Health Department's escrow fund balance. Highlighting its nationally recognized achievements in patient safety and quality, First Health Moore Regional Hospital Richmond was named a top rural hospital by the Leapfrog Group for the first time. Announced today, the Leapfrog Top Hospital Award is widely acknowledged as one of the most competitive honors American hospitals can receive. The top hospital designation is awarded by the Leapfrog Group, an independent hospital watchdog organization. The top hospital award comes following the hospital's A Hospital Safety Guide, also from the Leapfrog Group. Performance across many areas of hospital care is considered in establishing the qualifications for the award, including infection rates and the hospital's capacity to prevent medication errors. The rigorous standards are defined in each year's top hospital methodology. Yesterday, the Richmond Observer officially announced the new home of the publication and its video and radio mediums. I sat down with co-owner Kenny Melvin to discuss what the future holds for the RO's new building. Here's more. And we're being joined by co-founder of the Richmond Observer and president of KCL Media, Kenny Melvin. Kenny, thanks for joining us, of course.
Thank you.
So we're now in the new studio, and I know I can, just speaking for myself, we're loving it, especially in the mornings for GMS. But let's talk about, first of all, where we've come and how far Richmond Observer and everything, all the shows under that umbrella. Talk a minute about basically just how far we've come and how far we've grown so far.
Well, I think it's amazing. I mean, and the support from the community and from our staff and our advertisers. But, you know, it was intended to be just a newspaper, a digital newspaper. And then Lance and I came together with some other ideas. And then some of y'all with staff came up with other ideas. And let's see where we're at now. The Richmond Observer, Live at 5, Good Morning Sand Hills, The Classic Rock, and ROS Sports Show. I don't know that there's much room for anything else, but
not yet.
we do now have 2 separate filming studios, along with an unbelievable view for the Good Morning Sand Hills and radio station. I think if I could have chosen my own office, it would be where y'all are at.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, the only thing I can say is if you're down this way and want to come by sometime and just look up at the windows, you might see some faces in there that you recognize.
Absolutely. And, you know, the view behind us, that's just one of the beautiful views that we have here, right here in downtown Rockingham. So, you know, we were already in downtown Rockingham technically, but when this building became available, what was your vision as far as us moving in here? What do you think the end game is going to be for us?
Well, of course, we've got a lot of space. And I think this space upstairs where we're at is probably 1.5 times at least larger than the previous space. And for the balance of the building, other than maybe a reception area, is more than likely what our plans are to do is to do an incubator, where we allow startups and new businesses to have a place, an inclusive place that they can get their start, their launch from. Until you've tried, it's awful difficult when it comes down to it starting a company unless you are heavily backed or you have some help. We'll always be forever grateful to the Richmond County Chamber of Commerce. They happened to have a space, put us in there, and it was a great location. It still is, but it just size-wise, we were on top of each other. I mean, wires going everywhere, things to trip on, moving sets around, and at least here we can have several permanent locations. We don't have to do that on a daily basis or an hourly basis. And I don't know when we're going to do it, a new grand opening or re-grand opening. At some point in the future, we need to do a little bit more here before we're ready for that.
Sure.
But when we acquired this space, myself, Charlie, and my wife at 115 South Lawrence Street, I believe that's correct.
Yep, that's it.
It's directly behind the Rockingham Police Department. It used to be the Richmond County Savings and Loan. And we've got plenty of room to grow if we need to. At present, I thought we'd have plenty of room up here, but it's starting to get a little bit tight.
We've already
even
filled
upstairs.
it up some, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was moving the equipment and moving, all the stuff that we've accumulated and have to have. But it is an opportunity to, from this point forward, to organize a little bit better instead of bringing in and dropping something and not having somewhere to put it. But I'm real excited about the building. I know Charlie is. I know y'all are. Mm-hmm. It's very evident with our staff. They got really excited about it. Y'all did, and embraced it real quickly. And it's not often when the folks that work with you actually stop what they're doing on a weekend and come over to help. Right. And I'm real proud of that. That's a unique team that everybody wants to be included. The other night I know you and Jonathan left a little early. Russell was engrossed in an Alabama game, but the rest of us had chili that Leah brought up here in the break room. Right. And y'all missed a treat. It was really good.
That's what I heard.
It was really good. I like that type of activity where we can all get together casually at the same time, work together. But anytime anybody wants to come up and take a tour when we're here, they're welcome to. We need to get the word out for interviews that we have moved and how to get into the building, but it shouldn't be that hard to find.
Yeah, absolutely. And hopefully Chili Night, which I missed, hopefully will be the first of many, many new memories that we'll make here in the new office. Last question for you. I'm not going to shake your hand quite yet.
All right.
But talking about being here in downtown, and obviously with the new school being built and, just a lot of the new businesses that are right behind us with, Discovery Place Kids kind of being that anchor. How important is it for us to, I know, like I said, we were already downtown, but for us to move further downtown and maybe be a part of what I call a renaissance of downtown Rockingham?
I think it's very important, and you can see the rebirth of downtown and have been watching it for the past couple of years, but with the college, by the way, the last building came down today, yep. So it won't be far behind that we start seeing some things coming up from the ground up. I think it's important to be a part of that. Early on, we didn't have to have a brick and mortar location. We could have done this from someone's basement.
Yeah.
But I thought it was important to be involved in the community, to have a freestanding or a building that people could come to and realize that is the Richmond Observer. And moving closer into center town, I think it's a big deal for us. It makes us more visible. It's easier to locate. Although I will miss just walking across the street to the concerts that we have down on the City Hall. It's just an extra block.
I was going to say, we're not that much further down. So.
But, I think this will be our final move. I don't see us outgrowing this space. That's a good thing, to have enough space to grow into in the future. It makes us very central to everything going on, to like this past weekend with the Christmas on the square. It allowed us just to walk right out of the building to be in the middle of the action. And Another neat thing are the views outside of the second floor. When y'all go on in the mornings, there's some incredible views, and y'all get to watch just barely off in the corner as the college goes up. Right now you can look out and see a little bit of everything. You can look straight down and see Henry's at one end. Look to your right, see Discovery Place and Remax, and Simply Chic and Todd's Computers, and a little bit around the edge. You can see several businesses over to our left also. Is that Franklin, East Franklin?
There is, yeah. You can see Headlines. Of course, Sierra's East of Bliss is right over there. Hillside Floors. So yeah, I think we're right smack dab in the middle of it, which is one thing that I love. And I feel like I could probably speak for everybody. And I've mentioned this before during Thanksgiving when we were talking about things that we're thankful for. I'm just very happy to be part of a business, a company that's basically started from the ground up. The vision that you and Lance and Charlie have had, to be a part of that and to help you guys see that vision through. We're not done yet, but to be a part of it, to work with people that I enjoy working with. I feel like every day I come in, I don't really work that much. To me, it's fun to do what we do. And the way I look at it is, as long as that's the case, you never work a day in your life.
I think the secret is, and it's one that's often overlooked, and that is that you love the people you work with, you support them, you stand behind them, you do extraordinary things, and you can get extraordinary results. And at the same time, we really believe in an open culture as far as ideas. The worst thing that's going to happen is someone has an idea for a show or a segment is to someone say no.
Right.
That's the worst.
Yeah.
And so far, a lot of things that we do have come from suggestions by staff that they'd like to see. That's right. I think when you start that way, and I've heard of other corporate cultures like this, to where there are no last names, there are no Misters or Mrs. It's all on a first name basis, and where you might find an owner or principal vacuuming the floor or carrying the garbage out or changing light bulbs. I think that type of culture is something we've walked away from in this country that is only found in small businesses, but it doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah.
I think it builds a team, and I'm happy to be a part of it. It's not work here.
Yeah.
To me, it's just fun.
Yep, I'm with you. It is definitely a team effort and definitely a team that I am proud to be a part of. So, Kenny, I'll shake your hand now. We really appreciate everything that you guys have done for us, as well as everybody in front of the camera, behind the scenes. Of course, as you mentioned, at some point here in the near future, we will be having an grand opening again. And, of course, if you want to come take the tour once we got everything up and shiny and new, of course, they can do that as well, right?
That's correct.
All right. Kenny Melvin, we really appreciate it. And we'll be back with more Live at 5 right after this. Hayden Construction has 2 new homes under construction at 2 distinct locations. 125 Crystal Court in Carolina Hills and on Robberdale School Road. Both feature incredible floor plans and distinct features inside and out. Hayden Construction, quality, value, and beauty. Call Jamie Smart at 910-331-5811 or Nicole Hayden at 910-995-0717 today to schedule an appointment. Exit Realty, making dreams a reality.
Willow Tree Antiques and Gifts is all about rustic home decor and gifts. You will always find a variety of unique antiques, vintage, and new items in our shop. Come and see our selection of housewarming, new baby, and wedding gifts. For the man in your life, we have many collectibles, Boker knives, and leather. And ladies love the jewelry, purses, candles, hats, and t-shirts. We also offer a 30-day layaway program. Come and experience shopping at Willow Tree Antiques and Gifts.
At Kyocera, we see your company differently. We see your documents, how they're accessed, what it takes to keep them secure, and how well your workflow is flowing.
Kyocera helps your entire document infrastructure run more efficiently, securely, and cost-effectively.
And what we see is an opportunity to integrate all of it.
Today's Live at 5 weather report is brought to you by Exit Realty. And this day we're going to start with the 5-day weather forecast beginning on Wednesday for tomorrow. Beautiful day during the day, a high of 49, a low all the way down of 29. So going to be freezing temperatures tomorrow night. As for Thursday, if you're heading over to Hamlet for the Hamlet Christmas Parade at 3:30, should be beautiful weather for that. Going to need to take you a jacket either way though, because the high is going to be 46. As the sun goes down Thursday night, expect a low of 32. So 2 days in a row, 2 nights rather, where we're going to have freezing temperatures at night. Moving into the weekend on Friday, another gorgeous day, nothing but sunshine expected with a high of 52, a low of 36. As we get further into the weekend, however, on Saturday, a 50% chance of precipitation that day with a high of 43, a low of 35. Much the same as we finish out the weekend, another day of 50% chance precipitation on Sunday, high of 45, low of 37. So the highs for the next 5 days are going to teeter-totter between your low 40s and low 50s. And as I mentioned, it's going to be very, very chilly at night. Now that the next 5 days are out of the way, that's going to bring us to the weather outlook, and snow is potentially on the way for next Monday. But before we get to that part here in the Sand Hills area, let's start up in Fayetteville. High of 45, low of 35 with a 40% chance of precipitation. Much the same in Rayford, 44 for the high, 34 for the low, 40% as well there. Down in Lumberton, high of 46, low of 37 with a 50% chance of precipitation. Down in Bennettsville in South Carolina, kind of the same temperatures, a high of 45, low of 36 with a 50% chance that day. Right here in Laurinburg, 46 for the high, low of 36, 40% chance. Now, as we get into the Sand Hills area, let's start up in Southern Pines. We're expecting a high of 43, a low of 33 with a 40% chance possibility of snow for Monday. Right here in Richmond County, in the upper part of the county in Ellerbe, a high of 43, a low of 33. Rockingham, same temperatures, 44, 33 for the low. And across the river in Wadesboro, a high of 43, low of 34, and 40% chance in both Ellerbe, Rockingham, and Wadesboro for snow. So, we haven't gotten any snow yet. Perhaps it's time now to get the salt on the roads, get the chains on your tires, start thinking about taking the day off from school or work. But as we currently sit, coming up this over the weekend and then into Monday, snow could be in the forecast. So stay tuned here to Live at 5 for more updates on that. And that's going to do it for your Live at 5 weather report. And when we return, we've got your RO Sports update. It's coming up right after the break, so stay tuned.
McNair Auto Sales is the place to buy your pre-owned car, truck, or van. To be the best, it takes big selection, friendly staff, and great pricing. We guarantee a no-hassle buying experience, and financing is available right on site. So come see us today. We're located at 1026 East Broad Avenue in Rockingham. And remember, with over 40 years of experience, you know McNair is the name you can trust.
At Richmond County Hospice, we strive to provide high-quality care to our patients and their families. Whether it's the incredible hospitality at the Haven House or from the comfort of your own home, you can count on hospice to be there for you. We also offer monthly grief support groups, and our chaplain will be there to hold your hand in prayer. Through our amazing staff and our volunteers, hospice has made difficult times easier for our community. Call the number on your screen if you feel that you or your loved one may benefit from our services. Richmond County Hospice. Peace, comfort, dignity.
At Richmond Community College, we can prepare you for a high-skill, high-paying career in a variety of fields. From business to education, engineering, utilities, healthcare, criminal justice, information technology, and human services. At Richmond Community College, we can save you thousands of dollars on tuition through our university transfer programs that provide a seamless transition to universities and colleges throughout North Carolina. At Richmond Community College, we are always developing new courses and programs in response to the communities we serve. We offer day, evening, and online courses, and you can now complete 5 curriculum programs entirely online. At Richmond Community College, we believe in helping you prepare for a better life. Richmond Community College. Local college, big impact.
Austin Gallops, a junior on the Raider wrestling team, has been named the first official Richmond County Male Athlete of the Week for the 2018 winter sports season. As one of Richmond's several returning varsity wrestlers, Gallops has gotten his 2018-2019 wrestling season off to a fast start for head coach Earl Nicholson. Through 3 meets this season, the 152-pound wrestler has jumped out to a 13-1 start, tied for first on the team, as the Raiders have racked up an 8-6 overall team record. This is Gallops' first career official Richmond County Male Athlete of the Week selection. This semester, Gallops is taking 4 courses at Richmond, including his favorite class, chemistry, with Mr. Garrett Boyd. He's also taking American History 1 with Miss Kelly Russell, multimedia honors with Miss Lisa Campbell, and has third block weight training with Coach Brad Denson. Gallops was a 2-sport athlete during his freshman and sophomore years, as he played football in the fall while wrestling in the winter. During his 9th grade year, he was a cornerback on the 9th grade academy team before becoming a wide receiver on junior varsity as a 10th grader. With still over a year and a half until he graduates, Gallops is focused on getting better at wrestling while also trying to bump up his GPA so he can get into a good college. And a big congratulations to this week's Male Athlete of the Week, Austin Gallops. Monday marked the official beginning of the Richmond boys basketball season as the Raiders made a trip to Pine Forest High School. Although both teams got off to a fast start, the Trojans were able to continue their stride in the second half as Richmond's offense went stagnant as Pine Forest defeated the Raiders by a final score of 74-57. It marks the second straight year that Richmond has dropped its season opener as they lost to Fairmont High School a season ago. Using a roster of just 8 players, it was senior shooting guard Roderick Newton who led the team in scoring with 14 points. Newton, who hit a team-high 2 3-pointers, had 7 points in each half, as junior center Jarvis Tillman cashed in with 12 points of his own. Monday's game was the first of 6 straight games the Raiders will play on the road to open the 2018-19 campaign. They'll get their next shot at a win on Wednesday, as they'll travel to Southern Lee High School. Keeping it up with the Raider basketball theme, the Lady Raiders were back in action for the second time this season on Monday, also taking on Pine Forest High School. It had been 6 days since Richmond opened its season last Tuesday with a win over Whiteville High School, and the short break proved to cause the Lady Raiders to come out of the gates a little slower than they wanted. Head coach Teddy Mosley's team fell to the Lady Trojans by a final score of 74-51 and are now 1-1 on the season. Leading Richmond in scoring was junior guard Alexis Sweeney with 10 points, as sophomore forward Jakari Covington and sophomore guard Jayla McDougal each chipped in with 8 points. The biggest thing that haunted the Lady Raiders, according to Mosley, was missing opportunities at the free throw line and committing too many unforced errors. On the night, Richmond missed 17 free throws while also committing 22 turnovers. Richmond will look to get back on the right track Wednesday as they'll join the boys team on the road at Southern Lee High School. Tip-off against the Lady Cavaliers is scheduled for 6:30 p.m. And that's going to do it for another edition of Live at 5. Be sure to download the RO app for your mobile device, and for all the latest news in Richmond County, visit richmondobserver.com. Be sure to tune in to Good Morning Sandhills every morning from 6:30 to 8:30 a.m., especially tomorrow, where myself and John will be giving away 2 free tickets to a Sanders Family Christmas at the Richmond Community Theater in downtown Rockingham, and catch the RO Sports Show each Thursday at 5:30 p.m. For the Live at 5 crew, I'm Matt Harrelson. Good night, Richmond County.